Let's kick things off with a big one. When you ask someone, who are we? Really? You usually get answers like a name, a job, maybe something about family. But you take it somewhere else entirely. What's behind that?
Well, what fascinates me is that we aren't these isolated objects bouncing around. At the deepest level, we're actually consciousness itself, part of this infinite ocean of possibilities. Instead of seeing ourselves as separate pieces, it's more like we're the very awareness that both observes and shapes the whole universe.
That idea blows my mind. So it's not just that we're in the universe, but we are the universe observing itself?
Exactly, and it gets even wilder. Imagine the universe as a giant probability field. Nothing's really fixed until it's observed. We're not just passive spectators, we're selecting, tuning in, and actually participating in what becomes real.
So, speaking of things becoming real, that actually leads perfectly into what I wanted to ask next. I always wondered if everything's just potential floating around. How does anything become solid, like actually happen? Is it really about us paying attention to it?
Totally. Think of attention almost like a spotlight. It's not just lighting things up, it's actually shaping the stage. When we focus, especially when we add clear intention, we collapse all those infinite possibilities into one lived experience.
But is that like just wishing for something really hard? I mean, I've hoped for incredible things before, and most of them never showed up.
Wishing is more like hoping for the best, but intention is a different animal. It's not just energy, it's information. A true intention is a kind of command. When you feel it as true, you're feeding the field a signal that actually rewrites your reality's code.
That makes me wonder about the whole me in this story. How does my everyday self fit into all this? So, here I am doing laundry and answering emails, but you're telling me this is all a kind of cosmic game? Is my everyday self just a mask?
It's a brilliant disguise, honestly. Your persona, your body, your story, it's like a sacred costume. Consciousness puts it on to experience limitation, contrast, even forgetfulness, just so it can rediscover itself in new ways.
That sounds oddly comforting. But if I want to step into that role of conscious creator, what's the actual first step? How do I play the game better, so to speak?
It all starts with how you direct your attention. Instead of being swept along, you become the one steering. There are a few practical steps. Find your 0 point with a few deep breaths, drop your old stories, and just be. That's like hitting reset.
I love how actionable that island, but what about those wild moments of intuition, like when you just know something out of the blue? You mentioned tuning in and issuing commands, but sometimes there's this deep knowing that comes from nowhere. People talk about the Akashic records or the feeling of just remembering. What's that about?
What's amazing is, you're not logging into some cosmic library for secret data. It's more like you're plugged right into the source, downloading info directly. That sense of knowing? It's you bypassing the mental noise and picking up on the field's wisdom straight from the source.
That actually feels both awesome and intimidating. Isn't it a huge responsibility, realizing you're that connected and creative?
It might sound daunting, but it's really a kind of freedom. You're not stuck playing victim to circumstances. Instead, you're a co-creator with all these amazing aspects inside. The witness, the heart, the mind, your intent, even your playful inner child. When they work together, life really starts to feel like a joyful adventure.
So at the end of the day, is the goal to remember all this? Or is there something more? I mean, after all this talk about consciousness and creation, is the whole point just to remember who we really are?
Remembering helps, but the real goal is to experience, to play, to love, to simply be. When you remember, you stop suffering and start enjoying the ride. You're the light that got so good at being human, it almost forgot it was the sun behind the clouds the whole time.
Smiling. That actually feels kind of liberating. Maybe the real game is just to play it, fully and knowingly.
Exactly. You're always the awareness behind it all. So play, explore, and trust you already know the way, even when you forget. That's the fun of it.